Hello. And welcome back.
Oh, it's so much better.
I actually had a voice crack there when I didn't mean to. I could have just not said anything and left it like that. But...
Yep, and I'm just cleaning my glasses. I like to put the thing back in the packet.
Why? Aren't you just going to throw it out?
Yeah, can you throw it out for me? Thank you.
So dumb.
So, we are getting close to solving the epitaph. Are we?
I don't know about you. I solved it ages ago.
What? Well,
No, I never solved this.
I'm just hoping that they'll solve it for me and I don't have to think too much.
Well, you don't have to solve it.
Do you find out what happens then?
No, do you?
Oh!
Maybe you do have to solve it. Who knows?
Alright. Well, I'm keen to see where Ava goes. And she did sort of link it to the family tree, didn't she? That's what I understood.
Really? That's like, what you got out of?
Is there like a grave site or something? I know she's heading to the beach.
Who knows where she's heading?
Could it be the witches' caves that they talked about at the beginning?
Witches' caves? I don't remember this.
Wasn't there witches' caves the children would talk about?
No.
Like the witch lived in a cave, wasn't there? Or like an old person lived in a cave?
They talked about
there were some caves.
An old Shinto priest who built a shrine on the island. If you remember that.
Yeah.
It's mentioned usually at the start of each.
That was the Eastern magic part. I thought there was a story the children were telling about like something on the shores. Unless I'm getting it mixed up with another story.
No, I'm pretty sure they just spoke of, like, the siblings talked about the wolves and then the witch of the forest.
No, not the siblings, the cousins.
Yeah, I can't think of what the cousins would have talked about other than the shrine. Like the missing shrine. I can't remember.
Maybe I mixed stuff up.
Maybe you're thinking of Warrior Nun.
No, there's no. We're past that now, okay? I guess we're back with Ava then. This way?
Oh, let me get the controller.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Thank you. This way, go this way. They're inviting me to go this way. There, who's they?
Who's they?
Duh, duh, duh.
Creepy sound.
My heart leapt, because there, gaping wide, was an opened mouth in the eerie darkness.
It's Beatrice.
Oh, what's this? What is this? When I strained my eyes, peering into the darkness, I saw something that looked like a light switch. In addition, there was a switch with open and close written on it. Is it the mansion? The hidden one?
I don't know.
I don't know why I keep asking you.
Why do you keep asking?
You're not helping me at all. It looks like a subway tunnel. When I resolutely pushed the switch, rough lights like you'd find in a coal mine turned on sporadically, making a staircase that stretched underground come hazily into view. Eerily enough, it looked even more gloomy with the lights turned on. Near this light switch, there was that open and closed switch. Is this is the directions of the switch important for later?
Who knows?
Do I need to pay attention? Can you tell me if I need to pay attention?
You should be paying attention the whole time.
No, you know me. It would probably be open or close this, but if the open part happened to be broken, I might be shut away in this creepy underground area for all eternity. So for the time being, I didn't touch that switch. And as I readied my gun again, I slowly went down the stairs. Ava with a gun is pretty, that's one of the siblings you probably don't want to have in control of firearms.
Why would you say that about poor Ava?
She's so spiteful. No, Ava's even Ava's little child stuff is kill everyone. I wish they'd all just die.
She's like me. relatable.
Oh my goodness, you don't want us to die?
No. No, like... Nah, don't worry.
Okay.
This is going into, like...
The ceiling was very high, so I didn't feel cramped. It didn't feel cramped at all. On the contrary, it felt as though a cool breeze was blowing upwards, and that creepiness seemed to form a sort of aura.
Downwind.
Every time that my friends do downwind. Oh, the shame, no. As I readied my gun and carefully stared forwards, I descended the stairs. Drippy noises. The walls, the stairs, the lights, all of them were very old-fashioned. It was easy to suspect that this had been built back when the mansion had been constructed on this island. There were cracks in the ceiling, and water clung to the walls, constantly dripping down. That water fell into a gutter that had been set up alongside the stairs, then quickly and silently flowed into the underground darkness, as though it was telling me to go faster. The staircase kept turning back on itself. I don't know how far down I've gone, but I think it's much deeper than one floor. Eventually, a rough metal door showed itself, and there characters had been written in a dark red paint. They had probably been written a long time ago. On the 10th twilight, at Journey's End, you shall attain the power of the Golden Land's treasures, once and for the last time. My heart, which was already about to explode, jumped about even more as soon as I recognized those deep red characters. There's no mistake, this is the last stop. Father's Golden Land. I calmed my throbbing heart, somehow regained my composure, and readied my gun again. But since, in the end, I couldn't open the door with my gun held in both hands, I lowered the gun, carefully hid my breathing, and opened the door. There's no lock? Doesn't she need a key? She got the key. This place is...
Majestic piano.
Wait, do you play this song?
No.
My first impression when I saw the room was that it might be linked to one of the rooms in the mansion. That's right, it had exactly the same atmosphere about it as the sealed VIP room on the second floor. But this was underground, so there were no windows. There was only the solemn light of a grand chandelier. But even though it was dimly lit by the faint light, the quality of the interior was more than enough to take your breath away. A bed with a canopy and a rocking chair that looked like it would be comfortable to sit in. An extravagant sofa and carpet. The room was like a dream every girl yearns for at least once. And yet, since it was an underground hidden room with no windows, it felt more like the hidden house of a witch. I'd never swallowed the legend of Beatrice, Witch of the Forest. However, after being shown this room, it certainly became hard to doubt that she actually had existed, and had lived in this room. Is someone there? Even though I was completely shocked by this room, I timidly searched the interior with my gun raised. And at the back of the room, I found it. What? Eek! My gasp came out strangely, like a bunny being choked. Eek! After all, after finding something like this, no one would be able to stop that kind of stupid voice from leaking out. It's here. It's really here. Father's gold. On the opposite side of the canopy bed, it was piled up in a massive heap. It was a mountain of gold ingots. Of course, they weren't piled up carelessly in a way that would damage the dignity of this room. A beautiful scarlet satin was laid on the mountain of gold, creating a beautiful three-coloured mix between the red, the gold, and the black of the deep darkness. It was as though, when the witch slept on this bed, the gold would be respectful chamberlain waiting on her. Nobly, refinedly, gracefully, beautifully, it was attentively piled there with an imposing air. When I tried to grab a single gold ingot, I was surprised at its weight. It was probably about 10 kilograms. That's right, gold was heavy. Just this ingot would probably be worth more than 10 million. The Ushirimiya family crest, the one-winged eagle, was lightly imprinted on it. It was hard to tell whether it had worn away or whether the impression had been made carelessly in the first place, but it was certainly the crest of the one-winged eagle. Just how many ingots were piled up there? By doing a quick count here and there and judging by the height, there had to be a few hundred at least. My mind's already gone blank, so I can't do the math well. Even a moderate guess would put it above several billion yen.
Just quickly,
Yeah?
I want to mention to Corona. Ben did a... That wasn't Ben. Felix, like... I think after this, the whole, like, siblings trying to solve the epitaph thing, he had, like, a big, like, I don't know, moment, I guess you could call it. Like, he was talking to Ben on Discord, and, like, they shared the conversations they had, because Felix was trying to solve the epitaph, and, like, all of the stuff he, like, came up with, I was just like, how the heck did he figure this stuff out? I was just, like, amazed. He was, like, pretty spot on with, like, his reasoning. And some of the stuff, he kind of just, like, randomly pulled out of nowhere. Like, it wasn't out of nowhere, but it was, like, there would be, I don't know, it was a while ago, but, like, a number of ways you could take something. He just, like, yep, that's the one. And it was just, like, on point. I was just, like, so impressed. I was like, holy crap.
And I have nothing to add because I haven't watched that far in the video yet.
It's impressive. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I will get through them eventually.
He's, like, he really gets into it. Like, some of the stuff later on even, I was like, stuff I didn't realize. And then, like, when I rewatched it after replaying it myself, I was like, when I heard it, I was just like, holy crap, I didn't realize that. That's so smart.
Does it help if you, like, don't take so many breaks, though? Because we've done this,
Yeah,
like,
it would.
one small bit at a time.
No, we've been doing it pretty well. If we're counting, like, episode 1 and 2, then yeah, we've had huge breaks. But for episode 3, I think we've had a decent pace. Like, you can't read the whole thing within, like, 3
Yes,
days.
you can!
3 days and
Yes,
just be
you
like,
can.
I'm just gonna take everything in.
Speed read!
Read for the rest of my life. No, it takes, like, this novel is huge, and it takes time, which you obviously can't spend all of your time on it. Unless you're a high schooler like I was.
We should have come up with this idea during quarantine.
Still kind of in quarantine.
No, but it's not quite the same. Like, when everybody, like, couldn't work and stuff.
Yeah. Well, what can you do?
Wait for the second one. It's horrible.
Reported. Shut down the channel immediately.
No. Well, if in the future, it might be like, we're in quarantine again. Time for Umineko.
Freaking, what was it, Melbourne or Victoria?
Yeah, Victoria's not doing so good.
That was not smart.
Let's not think about that. Escape into the golden land. So this is so
Still
she's. I was wondering as well. Would it be possible that Beatrice does exist, or has she already, like, used the red words to, like, she can't use the red to prove she doesn't exist or that she's dead, right?
So she can't, or it's kind of taboo or forbidden. I don't know what you would want to use as the word, but to use the red to say that she does or doesn't exist is kind of, like, completely against the point.
Yeah.
Like, the whole point is to, like, convince the other person that it was done through their means. So Beatrice wants to convince Bella. Bella wants to convince Beatrice. Or they just want to prove each other.
Yeah, because I was just thinking so the Beatrice and Virgilia talked about how there's no more than 18 people on the island, right? But I'm wondering if there's this underground hidden place, is it like far enough off the island to be considered not the island? Therefore, meaning
I wouldn't
that
say so.
no,
No, because like there's still Kuadorian, which is what, like, several kilometers away from the mansion. And like, we don't know how far this is down, so who knows. But
do we know where we are though? It was like the shore. It didn't actually say.
It didn't say anything about
where.
a shore, did it? It just said it was a tunnel that led downwards with a staircase.
But there's water.
There was the dripping sound.
Aww.
There is, of course, a typhoon going on, so you could expect some water.
I thought she was saying the shore, like, and then it was at the shore. I don't know why I'm stuck on the shore of the beach.
Remember, the shore is a part of the epitaph. They're like, the shore the two will tell you of.
Yeah.
So when she's referring to the shore, is she referring to the actual beach, or is she referring to the epitaph shore? Food for thought.
Alright. Let's continue this and see if we get any more answers to our questions. That's right, of course. After all, there's 10 tons of gold, right? At the current value, that's more than 20 billion yen of gold. I found it before anyone else. I found it. I'm getting a bit Beatrice-y. In front of the mountain of gold, I spread my arms and looked at the ceiling. A laugh without a trace of dignity flowed out from my entire body. I had no intention of laughing in a weird way. It is Beatrice. She's like possessing her. She's getting possessed.
No, this is pretty Ava to me.
Really? I had no intention of laughing in a weird way, but I couldn't hold back that happy feeling that was flowing through me. My older brother probably wouldn't accept his loss just because I found this gold, but from now on, there would be no changing the fact that I had been the one to find it. To steal away the headship of the family, some more subtle bargaining would probably still be required, but after everything I've gone through until now, that's a completely trivial problem. Even if I lose out on the Ushimiya family headship, I already have 20 billion yen worth of gold. She gave up on her headship dreams pretty quickly. At times I've thought that money is such a worthless thing. I thought there were so many things in this world you can't buy with money. But now I see it's just a lie, just an excuse that the have-nots make for themselves. In front of this mountain of gold, I finally realized something so obvious. By using this money, I can give birth to all the happiness in this world. With this money, my husband's company is already saved. We will always be happy as a family, and I can even leave a vast sum of money to George. The rest of the relatives will eventually be ruined and disappear. At that time, George will use this gold, and just like grandfather did, he will revive the Ushirimiya family's lost honor. George is the true successor to the Ushirimiya family. It happened. My wish was granted. That dream I have wished for ever since I was born into the world as Ushirimiya Ava has been granted completely at this very moment. My husband and I will be happy for all eternity. And I can also give my only son George eternal happiness. There's no way I'll waste it on foolish pleasures. My oldest brother has chewed the Ushirimiya family to bits, but George and I will revive it. And that means I truly have succeeded the Ushirimiya family headship. I was successful. I did it, honey and George. I, your mother, finally succeeded. No one will be able to threaten us now. Oh! That's right. After this, never again will we be smothered by sad nights. Congratulations, me. Congratulations, Ushiromiya Ava. Right here, right now, the sad half of our life will have its heart's desire granted. It's all thanks to you. I was given this chance because of your magic. Because of that chance, I was able to make it here. Thank you. But my magic wouldn't have been granted if we both didn't believe in each other. So it isn't just the power of magic. This is our victory. Because of that, congratulations, us. Thank you, me. Oh my goodness. Thank you, me. Thank you, Ushiromiya Ava. I'm glad I didn't give in before now. I'm glad that I didn't drown in sorrow and forget to keep struggling. No, this is my magic. Our magic. Your magic was the real thing. Beatrice, the witch of the forest, is nothing more than an illusion. You are the real witch, a wielder of real magic. That's right. Right now, you are the golden witch, Beatrice. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
I can't help but like feel happy that she found it.
Really?
Yeah. Whenever I see her, I'm just like, oh, good for her.
Yeah, the fact that she's happy that they're not going to be in their bad circumstances, but the fact that she's like, I'm a witch. I'm like, where is this going?
Ava decided to leave for the time being. When she climbed the stairs again, trying to leave the secret place, she saw a creepy, swaying human shadow blocking her path, and her dreamlike state was blown away.
Who is it?
For an instant, she believed that the true master of this room, the real Beatrice, had appeared. It seemed that the other person was also holding a gun.
Wait, can we go... Is that part of the clues? Like, who had a gun? Because there was only 4 guns.
So each sibling had a gun.
Wait, there's only 4 siblings?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But it was implied that it was possible for the culprit to have had a gun as well.
Yeah, when does Natsuhi get her gun in there? Like, what was it, episode 1?
Natsuhi's never getting a gun again. Not after the first episode.
Oh, my goodness.
Do you remember how that ended?
Did he shoot everyone?
What?
I can't remember.
So, in the first episode, Natsuhi was the final adult left alive with all the kids.
Yeah. Oh, and she was protecting the kids.
She was protecting the kids. She had the only gun, or she had a gun. And, there was a letter in the room. You remember, like, Maria was, like, singing creepy on the phone, and, like, all the servants were dead?
Yeah.
And there was a letter in that room that Natsuhi found, and then she read it while all the kids were distracted, locked the kids in the room, then went out to supposedly challenge Beatrice, and she fired her gun. They broke out of the room. They found her dead. Her gun had been fired, but she was dead.
By gunshot?
Yeah.
We don't
Used to say.
Okay. No, that's you.
The two of them were pointing guns at each other, and eventually they each realized who the other was.
Rosa?
Nae-san, what are you doing in a place like this?
That's my line. What business do you have in such a place?
This song I'm trying to learn. It's hard. I shouldn't have given you that hint, Nae-san. If I hadn't, I definitely would have been the first to reach this place. Too bad. It seemed that Rosa knew where this staircase went, and what was waiting ahead of her.
You should talk. Even though I reached this place before you.
I worried too much about the Sweetfish River, like everyone else. The Sweetfish part didn't really matter that much at all, did it?
It was a red herring. That isn't true. It was an excellent hint, wasn't it? Well, of course, maybe there was no need for it to be sweetfish, but when I heard that sweetfish are fish that go out into the sea, I was able to figure it out.
What's inside?
Why not see with your own eyes? It definitely won't betray your expectations. Don't be afraid, Nae-san. I never had any...
No,
yeah.
That was me. Don't be afraid, Nae-san. I never had any interest in who becomes the head. I don't even care about the Yushiramiya family name. Honestly, I actually feel good about you stealing the headship from Kraus-Nissan, who was always swaggering around because of it.
Are you serious?
Of course. I'm the outsider of the Yushiramiya siblings. Even if father had named me as the next head, there's no way Nissan would accept it. I try not to have such naive dreams. Let me see too, Neo-san. This is proof of your victory. As long as I receive the proper portion that the siblings agreed upon, I plan to proactively acknowledge you as the true victor in this game.
If you shoot me, then you'll have this gold all to yourself, won't you?
The same goes for you. If you shoot me, this gold will all be yours. For a tense moment, the sisters pointed their guns at each other. Eventually, they sized up the glint in the other's eyes. They lowered their guns. Ava removed her finger from the trigger and held the gun upside down. It was a position that she couldn't quickly shoot from. When she saw that, Rosa held hers the same way. Ah, jokes!
That's right. That plan of shooting the other and having all the gold to ourselves is attractive for both of us. But if one of us suddenly disappeared on this island while it's isolated by the typhoon, there would be a huge uproar. If we hid the corpse here, it probably wouldn't be found easily, but we couldn't be sure.
No matter how many billion yen worth of gold is on the line, it isn't worth the risk of committing murder. On the contrary, that would give Kraus-Nissan and the others ammunition to ring us for all we're worth.
I agree. It may have been a blessing in disguise that you're the one who showed up, instead of Nissan or Rudolph. You're the sibling I trust most.
Thank you. And you're the sibling I trust most, Neo-san.
No response.
I want to see the gold too.
Want to have a peek? Now I feel like seeing it again too. Even though I saw it with my own eyes, it still doesn't feel real. Unless I see it together with you and confirm once more that it actually exists, it feels like the gold will turn to fog and disappear.
Ava started descending the staircase once more. However, she didn't carelessly expose her back to Rosa. Even though, at a glance, it looked like Rosa had lowered her guard, she definitely didn't show any sign of carelessness. Then they reached the room of the witch once more. Rosa also gasped, stunned speechless by the vast amount of gold. Rosa and Ava both woke up. Rosa and Ava walked absent-mindedly through the rose garden. They had left the guest house secretly, so they had to be careful when they returned. It was time to snap to it and keep their guards up. Congratulations, Nae-san.
Thank you.
You decided it, didn't you, Nae-san? 50% goes to the one bearing the title of successor to the headship. It certainly worked out well for you. Now that portion isn't Kraus-Nissan's. So your share is now 50%, along with a quarter of the rest, for a total of 12.5 billion yen. Isn't that incredible? 2.5 billion is enough for me. Rudolph Nissan won't complain either. Kraus Nissan will probably be the only one to complain.
Yeah, you're right. After all, Nissan is the de facto manager of Rikenjima. And since the gold was on these premises, even though I was the first to discover it, things might get complicated if I don't handle it cleverly.
It won't get complicated. Didn't we give it our all in that discussion last night with that in mind?
I wonder if it will really go that smoothly. I've already completely gotten over my excitement. How will we manage everything from here on is the real problem.
That's a problem for the new head of the Yushiramiya family. A problem for you to enjoy, Nae-san. It has nothing to do with me.
That's some big talk coming from you.
I'll support you as the second discoverer. If you'll at least give me the early payment we decided on. I'd like 150 million yen by March.
Yes, that will be fine. If you support me, I'll graciously pay you that much. I'm not Nissan.
Anyway, why don't we go and shock Nissan and the others? Even if we cover up the actual location, I want to see Kraus Nissan's shocked face as soon as I can.
Wait a second, Rosa. Wait a while before telling everyone about it.
Huh? Why?
You idiot, isn't it obvious? This is the haughty Kraus Nissan and that sly Rudolph we're talking about. Even if we do announce it eventually, it's certainly too early now. Unless we carefully investigate how to make our next move, is it possible that all of the gold we finally found will be snatched away by Nissan?
Ava thought she was saying something extremely natural. So, when she saw Rosa's expression suddenly cloud over, she was a little surprised.
What are you unsatisfied about? You know what kind of person Kraus Nissan is?
Nissan, that's against the rules.
What do you mean?
Didn't we make a rule that whoever found the gold would announce it immediately? If you hesitate, the foundation of the rules will be destroyed, and that could lead to something worse in the future. With Kraus Nissan as crafty as he is, that violation of the rules will come back to bite you.
Don't be stupid. This is Nissan's island, and that gold just now wasn't cash. We're talking about the liquidation of a vast 10-ton mountain, right? It will take a significant amount of time to carry it off and turn it into cash, and that will only work in Nissan's favour, since he has practical control over this island. Don't you even realise that?
I don't like it when you search out each other's weaknesses like that. All I want is to reach a clear decision regarding my 2.5 billion portion. Of course, if you were to give me 2.5 billion in cash right now, you'd be free to continue negotiating however you like. But until I have my share in my own pocket, I will follow the siblings' rules.
How can you be so naive? You don't understand Nissan's craftiness at all.
It wasn't that Rosa didn't understand the craftiness of her older siblings. In that sense, Rosa more or less understood why Eva was being so cautious. But in her heart, she couldn't clear away her suspicion that Eva wanted to keep all of the gold to herself, because she knew that Eva was at least as crafty as her other siblings. In other words, Rosa wanted to put a stop to any chance Eva had to keep the gold all to herself, by quickly informing the siblings of the gold's discovery.
So now we're getting more into motives that might lead to murders. Potentially.
It's a lot of money.
It is
Potential
a lot of
money, at
yeah. Rosa. Sorry, but at least listen to me this once.
Are you saying that if I don't listen to what you say, you won't be able to get me that 150 million?
That isn't the way I wanted to say it, but if you really need that money, supporting me is a more realistic option. If you talk about this to Nissan and Rudolph, even the portion that's your natural right might disappear. You don't want that, do you?
For a while, a severe expression that she'd never shown to her sister before rose to Rosa's face. There wasn't even a trace of her restraint as a younger sister. There was just the ruthlessness. No, the seriousness of a single human arguing about a vast sum of wealth. Ava made light of it, chuckling.
My, how careless we must be to stand around here talking like this, in the rain, in a garden.
With murder on the loose.
With murder on the loose. Even though a frightful murder case has just taken place, and the culprit might still be on this island.
I'm sure it was just the servants play acting. There were no murders on this island in the first place.
Oh? So you do think that after all?
The circumstances surrounding those 6 deaths shows us that clearly. The crime from the outside couldn't possibly have created those 6 closed rooms.
Dr. Nandra said they were all dead, but that was a lie too. This is all a complicated act that Father cooked up. All of the servants are just playing dead. A murder never occurred in the first place. There's no way that there's a murderer prowling around. I'm surprised you noticed. I think I read your part. You looked pretty scared, so I didn't think you'd figured out so much.
I'm good at reading the mood of a situation. I've got you to thank for training me so well.
That's right. Come to think of it, now that the servants are dead, almost everyone on this island is a member of the Ushirimiya family. As for Nanjo, he proclaimed the deaths of the servants, but when the relatives began to discuss the riddle of the epitaph, he disappeared off to the second floor as if he didn't want to get in the way.
All of it was an act to get us to try and solve that epitaph. And that's why you need to announce that you're the victor now, son. There's no way that burnt corpse was really father. He got a corpse with the right number of toes from somewhere and went to all the trouble of burning it in that creepy way of his, so we could see it. I'm sure he's hiding somewhere, watching to see how we'll behave. I'll bet he already knows you reached the Golden Land there, son. That's why you should announce that you're the winner soon. I'm sure father will appear out of nowhere to applaud you and proclaim that you're his successor. Then again, I've still got to pester you for that 150 million, so I can't stand against you in any way.
So you'll listen to what I say and keep quiet about this to Nissan and the rest? Make your position clear, Rosa.
I want to tell them. We made that rule just last night. We shouldn't just throw it away.
Of course, I will announce it in front of the siblings. However, I want to closely analyze the situation first. We've got to carry out 10 tons of gold, convert it into money, and distribute it fairly. Until I have proof that I can do all that without Nissan getting in the way, I want some time to think. I only want to postpone my announcement until then. I'm certainly not keeping it secret because I want it all for myself.
You'll definitely announce it to everyone sooner or later, right?
Yes, of course. Even I want to rub it in Nissan's face as soon as I can.
About how much time will you need to think?
I won't know that until I've thought about it.
Will one night be enough?
I can't promise you that. It'll take only one night.
Out of respect for you, the successor, I'll support you for one night. This year's family conference will end tomorrow morning when the typhoon passes and a boat comes to get us. That's right, when the seagulls cry.
Oh!
I said the line. I will remain silent until then. If you still feel that you need more time to think after that, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there, okay? I'll support your position to the best of my ability.
Why is that in bold? You really are cunning, aren't you? I'm surprised. Were you always this resilient?
I guess it's true that women become stronger when they have a child. I realized that in myself when I had Maria.
Understood. For the time being, thanks for your cooperation. We can talk about tomorrow when it comes.
Yes, that's right. I'm convinced that you'll become a fair-minded successor to the headship, one who'd never even considered taking all of the gold for herself.
Isn't that obvious? I will split the gold evenly among the siblings. No way. I found it. Because we solved the riddle of the epitaph. So this gold is all mine. I won't give it up to anyone. I am the head of the Ushirimiya family. I am. The witch inside Ava claimed exclusive possession in a loud voice. I stole your line.
Of course, that didn't reach even close to Rose's ears, and it probably didn't reach Ava's either.
Don't tell me Ava is Beatrice. Indeed, I shall acknowledge it. I don't know who's speaking.
It's your character.
Is it Beatrice?
Yes.
You are the true head of the Ushirimiya family, chosen by the witch's epitaph. Now, I acknowledge it upon my name. Ah! You are? That outfit. You couldn't actually be Beatrice?
Maybe Beatrice was happy that Ava had called her by her own name. She cackled cheerfully. In concert with that laugh, gold butterflies crept up as though a storm of gold dust was spinning around the room, and the room shone the colour of gold.
Indeed, I am the Golden Witch, Beatrice. There is no need to be so frightened. I am praising your exploits. Truly excellent. Imagine that you would spectacularly solve the riddle of the epitaph. It is worthy of my admiration. You're the one who sent that letter. So, I'll inherit all of the gold and the Ushirimiya family headship, right? You wrote that in your letter. And I overcame that challenge. Indeed, I shall acknowledge it. Right now, all of the gold piled up here and everything of the Ushirimiya family is for you to do with as you please. After all, from this moment on, you are already the Ushirimiya family head. Really? It's true, right? Right? Do not be agitated. I am openly praising you. As proof, I shall grant you this.
What is it? Beatrice took a ring off her own finger and held it out to Ava.
Is it really Ava, though?
She fearfully accepted it and realized that it was a ring.
Could this be... Indeed, this golden ring is proof of the Ushirimiya family headship, returned to me from Kinzo. From now on, it is yours. You may place it on your finger and hold it high before your siblings. No one should doubt that you have now succeeded the Ushirimiya family headship.
Ava stared closely at the ring. It certainly wasn't a fake. Without a doubt, it was the real thing. She dreamed of receiving this ring someday, focused on this day over and over again, and it was now finally a certainty. This ring had now designated her as the head, and had been handed over to her. And timidly, she put it on the middle finger of her left hand. In that instant, she felt a deep emotion welling up inside her that she'd never felt before. Her mind grew blank. Both eyes were opened. That ring was on her own finger. Not in a dream, but in reality. Beatrice.
That ring is also pleased. After all, it managed to reach you, one who dreamed of putting it on their finger for so long. The ring? Father's ring. How many nights have you dreamed of putting that on your finger as you have done now? The strength of those feelings became your magic and materialized itself. Now you are worthy of calling yourself a great witch. Who are you? Are you really Beatrice? I am the Golden Witch Beatrice, the Ushirimiya family alchemist. And is that a new one? Family alchemist?
That was one of the first, I'm pretty sure.
Ah, okay. In accordance with my contract with Kinzo, I will now pass everything on to you. All of the gold I entrusted Kinzo with, and all of the wealth he built up through that, and the honor and headship of the Ushirimiya family, and I will pass on my power and the title of the Endless Witch.
What does she mean?
The title of the witch. I will pass on all of my magical power and the titles of the Golden Witch and the Endless Witch. Following my predecessor's example, I will hand over my name, Beatrice, along with that title. You may now call yourself by that name.
Ava gulped. The chandelier light, which had seemed dim, now felt too bright.
By my name, I shall now commence the succession of the Golden Witch. Okay.
The instant Beatrice made that proclamation, everything was buried by a golden sparkle, and changed into a majestic place that looked like an audience hall. In the audience hall there was a crowd of Beatrice's minions and brethren, as well as countless gold butterflies celebrating this first succession ceremony in 1,000 years. When she looked, she saw Beatrice in the throne that only the Endless Witch was permitted to sit in, holding a golden staff, reigning with a dazzling dignity. Without being ordered by anyone, Ava automatically kneeled, hanging her head. A goat attendant respectfully handed Beatrice a golden staff in the shape of the one-winged eagle. After Beatrice stood up and received that staff, She laid the tip of it on Ava's shoulder and spoke. It was a proclamation 1,000 years in coming.
Ushiromiya Ava, you have spectacularly solved the riddle of the witch's epitaph and reached the Golden Land. I praise that accomplishment, and hand over all of the endless magic, as well as the titles of the Golden Witch and the Endless Witch. From this point forth, you may call yourself by my name, Beatrice. Come, raise your face. Then stand and accept this staff. I am most grateful.
Ava stood up dizzily, and took the magic staff from Beatrice's hand. Her hand was trembling slightly. As soon as she grasped that staff, she was wrapped up in the brilliant sparkle of gold, as though gold butterflies were flowing out from inside her. In the instant she succeeded the Golden Witch, Ava felt something in the depth of her soul reborn. Be reborn. To describe it in a word, it was energy. Energy with a gold color. It felt like she was waking up, as though she had been half asleep ever since she had been born and was opening her eyes for the first time. It felt as though her true eyes inside her eyes were opened for the first time in her life.
What?
Ooh.
Oh, she's got the staff too. Oh, and applause. Who is this? Beatrice? Indeed, a fitting and beautiful outfit for the Golden Witch. Come, you may show yourself to all of these people. Let them know that the new witch is indeed you.
Ava, no, the new Beatrice, turned around timidly. When she did, the witch's minions, which filled the vast audience hall, honoured her with an applause that sounded like the roaring of the sea.
Come, everyone, replace all of the portraits of Beatrice with the new Beatrice. Lift up words of celebration for the new Beatrice. Whoa! Okay. Oh gosh. New Beatrice, congratulations on the succession of the Golden Witch. I hope that you will become able to stand on your own as a proud Golden Witch and as an Endless Witch. Yes, I will do my best. I expect a composure befitting the Endless Witch from you, unlike your naughty predecessor. Teacher, we're in the middle of a serious ceremony, so please, enough of that.
Congratulations on the succession of the Golden Witch, new Beatrice Summer. I am called Ronove. I am one of the 72 demons permitted to serve the Golden Witch. If you are ever inconvenienced in the slightest, please let me know at once.
Thank you. Ronove is rude, but reliable. If anything confuses you in your new days as a witch, speak to this man, and he should be able to help you.
Predecessor Beatrice Summer, it is a shame that I was not permitted to serve you further, even though we have finally been reunited like this. These last 1,000 years have been very entertaining for me. You have my deepest gratitude.
Indeed. 1,000 years with you wasn't boring. Please take care of the new witch.
Yes, I, Ronove, will obey the final order of the former Beatrice. Do we decide who's doing her?
Was she a thing? Was she a character when we started?
No, she came at like the tea party or secret tea party of episode 2.
Oh, and we started at episode 3.
Yeah. You've seen her before, you probably just forgot it.
Yeah. No, we didn't decide. I think we...
Okay, so there's her and there's Bern Castell, the blue-haired one.
Yeah.
Which of those do you want to do? Actually, you can do her. I'll do Bern.
Okay. Let's see. What voice will come to me? Please don't be the, like, elder sister voice.
No, she's very cheery and, like... what's the word?
What was she,
Eccentric.
the witch of...
Certainty.
Certainty. Who likes pumpkins?
Oh, she likes candy.
She likes candy.
Look at her outfit. Just look.
She likes Halloween.
Well, Halloween has a lot of candy.
True.
Lollies, whatever you want to call it. Whatever
All my young voices, they're all going to sound the same. You'd better thank me, okay? I gave my signature to recommend you for the succession of the witch. Got it? In other words, if I hadn't signed, you wouldn't have been able to become a witch. So thank me a little, okay? This is the Witch of Certainty, Lady Lambda Delta. The recommendation of a witch from the Senate was required for your succession as an Endless Witch. Lady Lambda Delta recommended you and became your guardian. Thank you? Hey, Beato, this kid isn't grateful enough. I think I'll take back that recommendation.
Oh, no, I have to decide. Okay.
Oh, do you want me to do both?
No, I should probably do at least one of these witches. Because I have no witches right now.
True.
So she's like very gloomy. I can just talk in my normal voice.
Do it with an accent.
No accent. Do you think I should raise my voice or just keep it low?
I don't know. The suspense
I'm just nervous.
is building.
I'll just experiment with some stuff and see what I like best.
Yeah, go for it.
Throughout the episode. The person making these recommendations shouldn't act like a child, right? If you've signed, make sure you take responsibility.
Lady Lambda Delta is also a witch. Is also the Witch of Certainty. I'm confused. Who is she talking about?
Lambda Delta's the blonde one.
Okay, yeah.
The pink one.
But she's talking to the Blue Witch. Or is she
I
talking
think
to Ava?
she's just talking to Ava and she's going to explain who these two are.
Okay. Lady Lambda Delta is also the Witch of Certainty. The Witch of Certainty prefers to make fate firm to create a fate of certainty. She really liked and highly valued your efforts until today. Well, you had that unfortunate childhood, all that unrewarded effort. I can sympathize just a bit with that. It's not like I felt sorry for you or anything, so don't be so full of yourself. Soon.
From my point of view, your succession, well, it was more of a coincidence than a miracle. It isn't worthy of my recommendation.
This is Lady Berncastle. She's quite hard to please. Still, you could say that just having her participate in this celebration makes you exceedingly lucky.
I only came because this is a rare once-in-a-millennium event. And I heard there'd be some good sake. Favorites.
New Beatrice-sama! Please come greet us as well!
I think it's just Lucifer, though.
Huh? Oh, I am pleased to meet you.
The 7 sisters of Purgatory were gathered in a line. The eldest sister, Lucifer, took a step forward and kneeled.
This is furniture that serves me. As a gift to celebrate your inheritance, I will send them to you. Once you succeed the position of Golden Witch, you will need to carry out the resurrection ceremony for yourself. The 7 Sisters of Purgatory perform an essential role in that ceremony. They're a villainous bunch, but they serve their purpose. Have them do whatever you wish. We will always be Beatrice Summer's side. We'll be by your side. Please order us to do anything you desire. We'll accomplish our task without fail.
Who are you? Even
I
after
was watching Lilo and Stitch today, so I've got that stuck in my head.
Who?
Stitch.
Stitch?
Yeah.
Stitch does not sound like that.
Today.
Stitch sounds like Hideyoshi.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
he doesn't. Even after that, many nobles and minions visited and offered words of congratulation for the new witch. as she responded to them confusedly. She felt as though she was growing lightheaded due to the lack of oxygen. Yes, witches don't breathe. She couldn't tell if this was something real or unreal, but there was just one thing she could understand. A feeling of achievement at being permitted to call herself the Golden Witch. That alone was a truth she could definitely understand.
So will the portrait change in the mansion then?
What is all this? Of course I'm not going to swallow this story, but what in the world does it mean? Aunt Ava is the new Beatrice? Are you saying she's turned into a witch? What the hell?
I was also surprised to think that someone would be able to solve that riddle. However, that is the rule. I must follow it and pass on the position of Golden Witch at my name.
It is hardly something to be surprised about. At the very beginning, you wrote that rule in a letter and announced it. Ava Summer was simply the first to be successful. That is all there is to say. Virgilia, are you there?
Yes, here I am.
What does this farce mean?
Even if it's the depiction of strange witches showing up one after another as some of her bullcrap, isn't this almost like Aunt Ava turned into a witch?
Calm yourself. She has simply received the title of Endless Witch and might call herself that in the future. The succession ceremony is certainly nothing more than an act to promote that child's explanation. Don't fall for the same move over and over again.
That's right. That whole grand ceremony was all phony. But it's at least a fact that Aunt Ava solved the riddle of the epitaph. And at the same time, that means she succeeded the Ushiromiya family headship. And after getting 10 tons of gold, Aunt Ava might as well call herself the Golden Witch. Is that it? Damn, it's as complicated as ever.
My, it's a boorish human unable to comprehend the grandeur of this ceremony. Oh well, being unable to read between the lines is what makes you human. I pity you, but I do not blame you.
Damn it. Don't look at me like you feel sorry for me. Still, for the time being, there's something I need to check. And that's regarding this younger version of Aunt Ava. In other words, the definition of this new Beatrice. What is that?
Even if I tell of it, you will just persist in your disbelief in magic and witches, correct? So there's nothing in particular for me to explain. Feel free to believe in whatever it seems to be to you.
What it seems to be to me? Then how should I interpret this?
For now, it might not hurt to view it as a visualization of a separate entity inside Ushiromiya Ava.
Of course. You cannot blindly accept that answer, but it is probably a reasonable theory to hold for the time being.
In other words, I should think of Aunt Ava and her as the same person, right? Damn, I don't like where this is going.
In any case, from now on, my name is no longer Beatrice. I have passed it on to Ushiromiya Ava. Which means that I am nameless. Butler, don't you have some name that would be fitting for me? I shall accept your recommendation. How about a name that's refined, full of elegance, and a little cute too, if you can?
Just Beato is good enough for you. There's probably a big enough difference between Beato and Beatrice to keep people from getting confused.
Oh, so the same old Beato, is it? It doesn't feel wrong, but it's boring for some reason.
They say the temperature of black tea and a woman's heart are difficult to gauge in any era.
Batlakun. At any rate, stay calm from this point onwards. The fact that we can now tell her and Ushiromiya Ava apart works to our advantage, compared to the time when that child was still Beatrice.
And that's exactly why I like it even less. What's she thinking? That Beato. Over there, the witches formed a line to bless Aunt Ava, who had the figure of her younger days and who now possessed the name Beatrice. It was like a witch's coronation. The countless gold butterflies flapped their wings, directing this fantastical gold sparkling space. They were all praising her. As I stared from the distance, I looked at the newly born Beatrice, who had a slightly embarrassed smile on her face. Her expression, which had been lost and confused at first, seemed to be full of the happiness that she was finally starting to recognize. That expression didn't look at all like someone laughing insanely while standing before the gold. There was just the innocence of a person basking in their own joy. As a person who denied the existence of witches, I couldn't view this witch succession ceremony with a joyful expression and accept her. However, when I looked at that innocent smile, I felt like I wanted to offer my blessings just for that moment. It's always beautiful when strong efforts bear fruit and are rewarded. Aunt Ava, who had always yearned to succeed the headship and who had worked hard since her youth without reward, had spectacularly taken hold of the chance given to her by the riddle of the epitaph, and had finally gained that position. How divine is that the smile of a person whose childhood dreams have been granted. I definitely won't accept witches, but... Battler put his hands together, making a small sound. It didn't reach her ears, but it did bless her. Congratulations, Aunt Ava. You spectacularly solved the riddle of the epitaph before anyone else. It's your victory without any complaints. I won't accept all that about the Golden Witch and so on, but I will accept you as the new head of the Ushiremio family, and I'll celebrate that sincerely. As though urged on by Battler's applause, Beato also clapped. It was a slightly odd scene. Battler and Beato, who opposed each other, were standing side by side and applauding the same person. I'm not applauding for a witch. I'm clapping for all of Aunt Ava's efforts up until now.
As am I. I offer my sincere applause as a blessing to Ava, who spectacularly solved that epitaph.
I don't like applauding with you. But, well, I've decided that I won't worry about it now. Divine punishment won't fall on me just because I clap with you every once in a while.
It's not so bad every once in a while. Still, it is fun to applaud. Even though it was Ava who was successful and not me, for some reason, I'm starting to feel happy too.
That's because blessing someone means the same thing as sympathizing and sharing with them.
I see. Then I have even shared this irrational happy feeling with you. Since we are a pair of enemies trying to make each other surrender, it is an odd experience.
Well, just for now, let's have a truce and clap, okay? Beato laughed impishly, playing around and applauding even louder, as though eagerly trying not to lose to Battler as she clapped. Battler went along with her and clapped even louder. When he did, as though some ceremony had ended, everyone applauded and highly praised the reborn Beatrice. It was just as though Battler's and Beato's applause had been the final thing needed for her succession. Black screen.
Where are we going now?
To the next chapter.
Ooh,
No glass shatter.
because no one died.
No one died in the other few episodes, or chapters, whatever. Oh my goodness. It just never ends this day. 10:30.